Sure enough, like clockwork, as soon as I hit record, the lawnmowers start. And leaf blowers. Good times, guys. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Kristin, and if you're new here, this is where I come at you mostly every week and sit down and share what I've been making, primarily knitting. We do lots of sewing and quilting. There's been a lot of crochet lately, so if that is your jam, you're in the right place. I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. If you don't know, I live in New York. If you've been watching the news lately, you might have heard that New York had a little storm cloud over it. I can actually see the blue sky today. That is progress, my friends. But yeah, we've been experiencing interesting weather because there have been these crazy wildfires in Canada. Because of the jet stream, the smoke from the Canadian fires have been making their way over to the state of New York. So the past few days have just been crazy. The sky, there was a day where the sky was just pure yellow. I looked out my window, it was glowing. It was just, I thought the apocalypse happened. But anyway, thankfully, hopefully it's dying down. The smoke is moving on. It does smell like barbecue out still, but I mean, we've lived through the pandemic. What's a little wildfire smoke? Am I right? I digress. So yeah, let's talk about what Margot the mannequin is wearing this week, shall we? I have my coffee over there. She is actually wearing my Half Moon Oracle shawl, and this is a shawl pattern of my own design, which was a follow-up to my Oracle shawl, which is a whole pie shawl. And the Half Moon Oracle shawl is exactly what it sounds like. It's a half moon, so it's a crescent-shaped shawl. So if you're not into knitting a full circle oracle shawl, you can cut your time in half by just knitting half of it. And FYI, both shawls involve brioche lace knitting. The Half Moon Oracle shawl has an I-cord edging, and both shawls have an I-cord bind off. So yeah, you basically have two options, the Oracle and Half Moon Oracle shawl. And yeah, today Margot the mannequin is wearing the Half Moon. And it's also knit out of my own hand-dyed yarns, Voolenvine yarns, another shameless plug. But yeah, it's out of my Nouveau base, my single-ply single merino, which is 100% superwash. And it's knit out of 3 different colorways, Dead Calm, Lady of the Lake, and a colorway that I have not dyed in quite some time, Neptunia. This was like an OG colorway when I first started dyeing yarn. So yeah, three kind of like OG colorways that I recently did dye Lady of the Lake, but I messed around with the formula because Dharma stopped manufacturing a particular dye that I used to make that colorway. So I had to work things around a little bit. But yeah, I definitely want to get around to dyeing Neptunia again because yeah, that was a classic. I don't know why I stopped dyeing it, but anyway, one of these days I will re-dye it again. But since Margot the mannequin is wearing one of my own designs in my own hand-dyed yarn, let's do a little promotion, shall we? I'll leave all the information in the description box below. You can get 20% off my Oracle shawl and my Half Moon Oracle shawl. And I'll make that promotion available through Ravelry and on my website, voolenvineyarns.com. So yay, I hope you guys enjoy. And yeah, if you do decide to purchase the pattern or any of my patterns or my hand-dyed yarns, thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Cheers. All right, let's talk works in progress. And again, I don't have much to write home about this week since I last chatted with you. But I have been working on my Kismet pullover, a beautiful pattern by Rachel Ilsley, and this is her Kismet pullover. And yes, I am indeed on Body Island and working on the ribbing. So we are so close to getting off and moving on to Sleeve Island. And guys, I have to say, sorry, I'm covering up my microphone. I have to say this pattern is quite literally flying off my needles. It is, I cannot put it down. It is just so gorgeous. And once again, I am using my own hand-dyed yarns, Voolenvine yarns, in 4 different colorways. So up here, this color right here is my Poe colorway. This golden brown is Laudanum. And then I have Weep, which is a very dark, like slate gray. And then of course, down here for the body of the color, intermixed in here is Grim. And you all know me, I can never, like all of my projects have grim in them. It's just my favorite go-to semi-solid because yeah, black, it just goes with everything. So yeah, really, truly enjoying this. And what else do I want to say? Not swatching, knitting the size medium, which is supposed to have a 40-inch bust circumference, which obviously is enough wiggle room for me because I love my sweaters to be oversized. Granted, because I did not swatch, I'm noticing that this is knitting up a little tighter. And yeah, this might have less negative ease than I anticipated. Again, my own fault because I did not swatch. It's just, I can't do it, guys. I cannot bring myself to swatch. Won't do it. Can't do it. Sorry, not sorry. But again, it's going to fit me. I tried it on. I actually took my needles out, put some scrap yarn, put some waste yarn all around the waistband and tried it on. Fits perfectly. No complaints there. And some of you are actually wondering about the complexity of the color work. And it's very straightforward, very easy, very meditative color work. You're only ever using 2 colorways per row. So if you're new to color work and just dipping your toes, definitely beginner friendly. So when it comes to sweater construction though, I would err on the side of, adventurous beginner because yeah, there is some interesting shaping happening in the raglan area. And while you're increasing the raglan area, you're also doing color work. So, if you are a seasoned sweater knitter, and new to color work, I think you'll be fine. But if you're brand spanking new to sweater knitting and color work, maybe try something a little more simple. I don't know. That's just my humble opinion. So yeah, that is where I am with that. And as you can see here, I've got a lot of ends to weave in. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. And I'm not joking. There is a guy literally riding a lawnmower like a scooter. Like he's just gliding back and forth up and down the street. I don't know where are the leaves? Tell me, please, where are the leaves? I don't see any. Oh gosh. So, okay, and just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna show you my floats because I see you out there, guys. I know you're out there, you people who love to see a good set of floats, and here they are. Yeah. Lots of float action happening. Anyway, that is where I am with my Kismet, another beautiful pattern by Rachel Ilsley. Next up, let me pop this over here, is a new project that I cast on when Dennis and I went to Rhode Island. So a couple weeks ago, for Memorial Day weekend, we decided to go back to Rhode Island. If you recall, several months ago, we went to Newport. We had a really nice time, loved it so much that we went back, not to Newport this time, but we went to a part of Rhode Island called Westerly, which is actually a really nice, another nice oceanfront beach community type area. So yeah, we had a really nice time. Definitely not as touristy as Newport, but this one was just, the hotel that Dennis found was perfect. It was right on the beach. Granted, it was just a little too cold for us to go in the water. It's still, it's still spring weather here where one day it could be 80 degrees Fahrenheit and the next it could be back down to 50 or 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It's, the weather's very, very changeable and iffy. And yeah, so it was, when we went, it was very windy, but our hotel had a really nice view on the water. It had a balcony where I could just sit and knit and stare aimlessly out into the ocean. I drank some wine. It was glorious, my friends. And yeah, I was just, I was craving a little easy, simple crochet and ended up casting on one of the patterns that I mentioned in last week's episode, the one where I shared what crochet and knit patterns are on my Ravelry queue. So one of those patterns was the Annecy blanket, and I'm so sorry I'm blanking on the designer's name, but again, I'll pop it all in the down bar. But I fell in love with this pattern because it's just granny squares, very, very simple granny squares, but what I really like about this pattern is that you're not constantly changing colors. So, it sticks with a color for quite some time before you have to make another color change. So let me shut up and show you one of these squares. So here's one. And yes, I am indeed using Voolenvine yarns. Again, in my Nouveau base. I don't know what it is about single ply superwash merino. I love the texture of it. I love how it knits up. And I also just love how it takes color. So out of all my yarn bases, Nouveau is my favorite. So that's what we're using for this pattern. And yeah, I'm just using a medley of colorways from my shop. I am known for stealing from my own shop updates, guys. I'm sorry, not sorry. But yeah, this colorway right here is my Rosewater colorway. Then here is Opal. And then for the border of all my granny squares, I'm using a new colorway that I'm calling Lure. And it's just a really nice, dark, cool, shaded brown. Yeah, a colorway that I've been kind of wanting to dye for a while and finally got around to doing it. And I absolutely love it. So yeah, here's one square and then here's another square. This colorway on the inside is my Bronte colorway. Out here is Rochester. And again, for the border, we've got Lure. And then over here, I'm just basically just alternating between colorways, basically alternating between the same 4 or 5 different colorways. So here for this one, I'm using Bronte in the middle and Rosewater in the center, but all of these have Lure as the border. So yeah, here you can see Rosewater out here. And yeah, I made, let me see, I think I'm on my 7th square. So yeah, definitely amassing a little pile. Yeah. They're just they're so quick, so easy. And I just cannot get enough of this Opal colorway. Anyway, really, really fun pattern. Again, it's holding my attention. And yes, I know I still have to finish my Fruit Garden crochet blanket, a pattern by Johnny Crow. I'm looking at it over there. It's in a bag. I'm just taking a little break from it, a little palette cleanser, if you will, because that pattern is so involved that I just kind of needed a mental break from it. But trust me, I will be going back to it. All I have left to do are the border rectangles, and we will have a finished blanket. So anyway, but yeah, let me see. What else do I want to say about this? Again, really simple, very easy, memorizable crochet pattern. I'm using a size 4 2.5 millimeter hook. And I actually really love like when it comes to crochet, I've been since I fell down this rabbit hole several months ago, I've been collecting, I've been collecting different types of crochet hooks just because that's what I love doing. I love collecting things, especially crafting tools, when I fall down a rabbit hole. So, but I have to say, I keep coming back to these thin metal skinny hooks, particularly these hooks by Tulip, or Etimo, I should say. Let me see. Here's the case. I love, seriously guys, Etimo or Tulip, I don't know. I think they're just called Tulip, and they have, what is it? Is it Tulip Etimo, or does Etimo mean tulip in Japanese? But yeah, these are by Tulip, and here is the case that they come in. I mean, it's just so pretty. They do packaging so well. And yeah, it actually comes with a pair of snips and some, it comes with a ruler and darning needles, which are not currently in here. They're somewhere floating around my craft room. But yeah, I really do love this set. And I believe it goes all the way from a size 0 all the way to a size 10, which is a 1.75 millimeter crochet hook all the way up to a 6 millimeter crochet hook. Oh no, yeah. So anyway, lots of variety in here, and I just love the way that I love the feel of them. So yeah, that is what I've been working on when Dennis and I go on little road trips and side adventures. But yeah, here's my Opal shade, and then here's Rochester, and then here is Rosewater, and then let me see. Yeah, this is Lure, the brown, which I love. I gotta dye more of this. And here's Bronte. So yeah, that's what I've been working on for the most part. However, I do have a new quilting project that I am probably going to get a start on either over the weekend or next week. Let me backtrack a little bit and give you the backstory about this project. So Dennis and I, my husband, we moved into this house over a year and a half ago. Again, I cannot believe how fast time flies. And we're still, believe it or not, we're still putting things in their place. We're still trying to figure out how to decorate the place, where furniture goes. It's a never-ending project. And, you know, it's really sad that we still don't have many things up on the walls. You know, here and there we do, but for the most part, it's really sad. We're desperate for home decor, and I finally took it upon myself to, you know, or I just had this grand idea that I was going to make a quilt to use as a wall hanging in our dining room. In our dining room, I'll try and insert some B-roll of it here. First, I should say that we never use our dining room. We're like savages. We sit at the coffee table in our living room and eat our dinner there and watch TV at the same time. We are savages, my friends, and we have no shame in it. Granted, we do still kind of want to decorate our dining room. Maybe make it a little more inviting, and maybe we'll be more apt to use it. But anyway, I got this idea that I would make a quilt to hang on the wall just to cover some area. And yeah, I browsed the internet and stumbled on laundry basket quilts. You've probably heard about them because they have a really beautiful line of fabrics and such and patterns. And, you know, I stumbled on one of their patterns. It's the Primrose Montana quilt. And yeah, it's this magnificent square quilt that's primarily made up of, you know, triangles. And yeah, fell in love with it, and I thought it would be absolutely perfect for our dining room, especially because it has a lot of the same, well, for the most part, our dining room is very neutral. So we've got a lot of like woody browns and some, you know, neutral textiles and everything. And I feel like this quilt will add just kind of like a little extra pop of color, if you will. So I ended up buying the kit, the fat eight. These are all fat eighths, right? Fat quarters. I'm sorry. I bought the kit to make the quilt. So here it is. Yeah, it's a brick. It's very, very heavy. So there is a blanket in here, my friends. But yes, this is the Primrose quilt, and it's a bundle of 32 fat quarters. And yeah, again, by Laundry Basket Quilts, and it is absolutely beautiful. It's almost like Civil War reproduction prints, if I had a guess. Again, I don't know what the deal is with historical fabric recreations, but it may be Civil War era recreation prints. So yeah, but just lots of pinks, reds, burgundies, teals, light blues, golds, browns, mustards. Yeah, it's perfect. And you know, it has some neutral shades in here, which will definitely pick up on some of the tones in our dining room. And so I purchased the pattern as well. And while the pattern does come with printable templates, like you can blow up the template to 100% and cut out the paper and use that as your template to cut out fabric, I noticed because there are so many triangles in this quilt, I really want to err on the side of accuracy. I mean, in the past when I've cut out triangles from fabric and I've tried sewing them together, piecing them together, if things aren't as accurate as they can be, you know, things get a little wonky. So I noticed that they also sold acrylic templates on their website. So, you know, I pulled the trigger and I also purchased the templates to make this quilt. And yeah, these are great. And they're actually quite, like the pieces in here are quite big. So yeah, look at that. This has a peel off backing. So once you peel the backing off, it's clear and you can, you know, lay it on top of your fabric and, you know, if I feel the need to fussy cut or whatever. So that's great. Yeah, and these are really well made. It has like little holes you can use to trace and put your dots here. And if you want an English paper piece, I mean, yeah. So anyway, there's that. And the cool thing is she also has a video tutorial for you to quilt along with, which I think is always helpful, especially if you're new to a craft. For example, I find it incredibly helpful that Jane Crowfoot has a video tutorial to go hand in hand with her fruit garden blanket. I mean, as someone that's, you know, relatively green and new to crochet, that I just found it so invaluable. So yay, really excited that there is a video tutorial to go along with this project. So yeah, again, I'm hoping to either get started on it either this weekend or next week. Dennis and I do have another trip coming up, not this weekend, but the following weekend. So yeah, more details on that soon, but I have to decide what project I'm taking with me. And I believe that is all I have to share with you this week, my friends. So yeah, I am trying to think if there's anything else other than living through a smoky apocalypse and just getting ready for our trip next week. Yeah, oh, and last week, on Monday, Dennis and I celebrated our 12th anniversary. So thank you so much to everybody who wished us a happy anniversary. I posted about it on social media. So yeah, we had a really nice time. And yeah, this upcoming trip is kind of a little getaway slash treat to ourselves for our wedding anniversary. So yay, very excited about that. And yeah, anything else? No, I think that is it. So, all right, my friends, if you are new here and you haven't already, please feel free to like and subscribe down below. I'm putting up videos for your viewing pleasure on a regular basis. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next time. Bye.